Hey you all, this is Maysha with As Long as You're Breathing, and I'm hoping that you all are having an amazing week already. I love Mondays. Yes, I sound like this. And there's a lot of interviews this week, so I may have to get somebody to come in and help with them if I keep sounding like this, but we're going to muddle right on through, and it is going to be amazing, of course. The first interview we have this week is Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. and it is Joy Resser, who is also a joy bringer. And I met Joy through the series of books, the Find Your Voice, Save Your Life series that we're both in, and by Diana Leader. And yeah, so I can't wait for you all to meet Joy. And that's going to be at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, right here on As Long as You're Breathing. We do come to you through StreamYard. So yes, you do have to enable StreamYard in your settings so we can see your comments, but you don't come to StreamYard. What you do is you stay here on Facebook and watch us here and comment and everything through Facebook and see us that way. We just come through StreamYard. That way we can do it in talk show format because Facebook just doesn't give us that option. So that's why we do it through StreamYard, is so we can have the talk show format. So we can be in two different places and it looks the way it does, and it's easy to coordinate the way it is. So Joy Resser on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Then I want to remind you all that Sherry Moyse does her lives over on I never get the words right. So heart powered coaches and healers. I never get those names right, so I wanted to be sure and look. She does her lives on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock Central, and I really hope y'all will start going over and catching those. Soul Client Alignment is getting ready to start soon, and that is her course that she runs a few times a year, and it's an amazing course. I help her set up like the workshops and that sort of thing. So I've been exposed to what's actually in the course and how it's set up and those kinds of things. And I'm actually in the course this time around. So I've seen the befores and afters of the people who've gone into the course and then when they come out of the course, and I know how amazing it is. And of course, I do all sorts of things with Sherry, so I know how amazing Sherry is. So just being a part of her group is one thing. But so yeah, just join and go over and listen to her Tuesday lives, if nothing else. But Soul Client Alignment is getting ready to start. So go listen and see what that's all about and find out about. The thing that's special about Sherry is just how intuitive she is. And if she wanted to, she could use that intuition and she could just tell you so much. But what Sherry does is she teaches you to develop your intuition so you know yourself. So when she's not around and you've got to make the decisions on your own, you've got the tools to. So when energy shifts, you're ready to deal with that shift on your own. So you don't need Sherry for the shift. You're shifting with Sherry, you can shift on your own. And so that's what Sherry teaches you in Soul Client Alignment. She does teach you to be aligned with the right clients, but then she also teaches you how to be in alignment across all aspects of your business at all times, because she teaches you to use your intuition the way she could use it. She could step in and use it for you, her own intuition, but she teaches you to develop yours to the best that you can, of course. I mean, we all choose how we use our gifts and talents. And so Sherry helps you cultivate those and adapt them to your unique style and your business, your way. And it's an amazing thing to watch her take people and grow them, because that's what Sherry does. Sherry grows people like me in the way that I did in long-term care and the way I believe we should do. Sherry doesn't grow dependence. Sherry grows people to be independent. So Sherry doesn't step in and make you dependent upon her. Sherry steps in and grows you to be independent. And so that's the beauty. So even if all you do is just go over and join her group and just learn from her that way, I did that for the longest time, and you'll find a home there. So Sherry Moyes is live on Tuesdays at 1 Central Time. So now I'm going back to my calendar so I know what we have the rest of the week, because on Tuesday there's another show, and so it's Dominique Florisca. His what he's founded is called Purposeful. Yes, purpose, then full, and the full is great big letters, like I have, like I did with Fibro Life, and the life was great big letters, and then as long as you're breathing, keep living in great big letters. Well, Dominic, he did the same thing with Purposeful. And so automatically I like the guy because he's automatically he's brilliant, all right? So automatically great minds and all that, thinking alike. So I met him through Maggie's last masterclass workshop that she did. He was the one helping her, and I had helped her the one before. He was the one helping her this time, but she was using my music, and so I was there. And yeah, thank you, Maggie, for doing that. That warmed my heart. But so I was a little hesitant to ask because he's like this big world player, you know. I mean, he and his brother, well, I'm not going to tell you what they do. I'm going to let you find out whenever you come and hear his story. But he and his brother, what they do is like worldwide. So I was hesitant to ask him to be on my little internet show here. And Maggie assured me, no, go ahead. So I did. I reached out, and I'm like, I don't know if you'll remember me or not. And I got, yes, I remember you. So yeah, Dom's going to be on at 3:00 on Tuesday, and y'all are going to really enjoy hearing his story and what he does. He helps people find their purpose so they can live lives in which they're content with. So you're content with your life. And by content, I know he doesn't mean content with little letters. That's why full is great big. He wants you living in great big capital letters too. So our philosophy is so the same that I can't wait for him to be on. You all are so going to enjoy meeting Dom, and I'm really hoping he becomes part of the family too and just keeps coming back, like Maggie and Elizabeth and Sherry and so many others. And, you know, so yeah, so 3:00, which is an odd time. I know y'all aren't used to that, but of course he's over across the big pond like Maggie is. So yeah, so that's the time that he wanted to do it. So that's the time we're going to bring him to you. That's Tuesday, the 5th. Then on Wednesday at 9 a.m., Rosina is going to be on. Now, I don't know if you all remember that on Elizabeth's show last month, we had some people join us live on StreamYard. Her brother was there, which was amazing, and he has a book coming out, and I've got to interview him when that book comes out. I got to interview him on his own when the book comes out. Yeah, sorry about that. But Rosina came on, and Elizabeth did a clearing for her, which was, I'm so glad Elizabeth did for Rosina's sake, and so all of you could get the benefit of seeing more of Elizabeth's clearing work. But Rosina connected with me afterwards and said, I don't know if you're aware or not, but I'm a practitioner too. So we connected and talked about all the things she does. And this woman is certified in this and certified in that and certified in this and certified in that. And so, yeah, and what she does is much like Stacy Leeson, is she uses her intuitive abilities via tarot. And she uses the tarot cards to like, so those that she's working with can visualize what she's talking about and to bring it to life for you, to bridge the two for you, to help you understand what it is she's seeing intuitively. And so she uses tarot, but then she takes all that she's learned and what she knows about energy, medicine, and healing. And then she uses those modalities to help you. So she's going to tell us her story, which is very fascinating. So that's going to be Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Again, that'll be here. We'll be on StreamYard, but y'all come here and watch us on the Facebook channel and have StreamYard enabled in your settings so you can message, let us know you're watching and interact with us that way. So really looking forward to that on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, my mom's coming to visit. My mom and her landlord friend will be they'll be driving down. But while they're driving down, because it's a long way here, Judith Ann Walls will be on at 11 a.m. Judith is another one that I met through this series of books. She is, I'm trying to decide which way this is the way they go. She's going to be in 3 with us. And she's an amazing writer she's also been an educator, and she's traveled the world and has written doing so, educating and writing, but she's also a healer. And so she's going to be on first giving us her story. And then from that, she's going to come back and talk about her work as a healer as well. She's another one that instantly we just clicked. She's amazing. So I can't wait for y'all to meet her on Thursday at 11. And then my mom's going to be here for the weekend. So that's going to be great too. So I'm very excited about that. Mama's going to be in town. So that's going to be good. So I'm excited about that. I do have more books stacked up over here. And there's a reason for that. The same publisher that does the books series that I'm a part of and that Diana is the lead author for, Braveheart Healers. They also have Anna Pereira with Wellness Universe has a series of books out with them as well, the self-care series. And Pam McDonald, who was on the other day and who's becoming a regular, of course, and Maggie and Elizabeth, they're all in these books too. Maggie has a tool in here. I believe Pam has one in this particular book. This is the first one. I believe Ricky McKenna is in this one as well. I believe Elizabeth may be in this too. So we have several that are in this book as well. And I don't know, I can't remember reading the other tools. I'm sure I have. I read so much, I can't remember. But Maggie's tool, this is the tool that she talked about on the last show. And it's an amazing tool, you all. I go back and I use it. It is very much like the ancestral clearing that Elizabeth did the other day on the show. It's very similar to that, where you use the number, how do you feel, and you assign it a number. And so it's very similar to that, only it's a self-healing tool. But Maggie will also use that for you over long distance. She can do that from where she's at, much like Elizabeth can do it from where she's at. So there are a variety of ways to heal. So I wanted to let you all know about that. And since so many of the people in this book are a part of our little family here, I wanted to point that out. Pam, Elizabeth, Ricky, Maggie, all in this one book. And so yeah, I wanted to point that out to you all. And it's the same publisher that we're dealing with the series of books that many of us are in. And of course, Elizabeth's book, The Way Through Chronic Pain, which is an amazing book that I give away to people. It's an amazing book. It's Elizabeth's story, but it's also just an amazing book for anyone. And chronic pain, I know many people think when we say chronic pain, we're talking fibromyalgia or a back injury or something like that. But chronic pain is not necessarily physical pain. Chronic pain can be emotional pain. Chronic pain can be many things. So if you just plain don't feel well for a long period of time and you don't know why, that's chronic pain. Get the book. Get the book. We don't have to suffer in silence. That was my differing point, if you will, with the chronic pain community, is that I refused to ever wear suffering in silence like a badge of honor. I didn't want to be one of those who whined and complained and wore the fact that I was suffering like a badge of honor either. But I didn't want to suffer in silence. I wanted to educate those around me. I wanted to be vocal so they understood, because I would get questions like, well, I know that there's something wrong with you, but when we're around you, you seem fine. You're laughing, you're joking, et cetera, et cetera. And so I would take that opportunity to explain, well, if you don't mind, I will tell you, today I had to choose how to use my energy to be able to do that. And most of the time, that kind of statement would get people's attention because it was very different. Who knew when I was making statements like that, just how accurate those statements were? Who knew? Because those statements were so accurate. I was teaching people back then about the fact that I have to pick and choose what I do with my time, how I utilize my energy. The fibromyalgia world has been teaching that for a long time, the spoon theory. We only have so many spoons. And when we're out of the spoons for the day, we're done for the day. That's the beginning of understanding energy management, just the beginning. But that's where I was representing myself differently and showing up in the world and not hiding myself from the world, even though most people with chronic pain and fibromyalgia, yeah, and I started out that way too. When I would have a good day, I hid myself from the world, because if I had a good day and I was out in the world, well, then people were going to think I was faking the bad days. And so I can't tell you how many good days, hours, minutes I wasted out of fear of what other people would think. You see, that's programming. That's letting people in the cheap seats dictate how I was ruling my life. It didn't matter what other people thought. What mattered was reality. What mattered was what was going on with me. But I was so concerned with what people outside would think, and not just way out in the cheap seats, not just, somebody down the road who knew me and knew there was supposed to be something wrong with her, but my dad, who would be like, well, baby, I just don't understand why you can't get well from this stuff. I believe I could get well from it. I had that. I had others who didn't believe it was real, who were very close to me, who would make statements like, well, she's one of the most ambitious people I know. So if she says she can't do such and such, then I believe in it and I believe she has it. Now, I'm not so sure about all those other people. To which I would be like, well, thank you for believing me, but you can't discount all those other people either. If you believe me, why can't you believe all those other people? Well, I know you, and I know this isn't you. You don't let anything hold you back. As a matter of fact, you overcome odds all the time. So if anyone could just choose to overcome this, it would be you. And you are driven and ambitious. And so, no, this must be real, or so it's real. Well, then it's real for them too. Well, I'm not so sure about that. But so I would get into these conversations by just starting with people saying, well, we know there's supposed to be something wrong with you, but you don't ever seem like there is. And I would be like, well, I had to choose not to do this, this, and this today. And so I could be here, if you want to hear about that, I have to manage what I do. I have to pick and choose. It was energy management. And that would usually start a conversation that would cause them to then say, well, actually, I knew, I'd heard you had this fibromyalgia. Yeah, fibromyalgia. And I've got a sister or sister-in-law or brother-in-law or somebody, mother-in-law or my wife or whatever. He says, they have it. I've just not really been sure. But now that I've met you and heard what you've got to say, and I've watched you for a while now, you're validating what their story has been. Most of the time, I was able to maintain the composure, most of the time, at the word story. And thus, every life is a story was pretty much born. Because every life is a story, and everybody's story is valid, no matter what the people in the cheap seats thought. Every story was valid. And if we would just listen to it, we could be motivated, inspired, and see that everybody has something. And if we would just take them at their word, we could learn and grow from it. And if we would be open and vulnerable, unlike the people who wanted to wear it like a badge of honor, that they were suffering in silence, then we could educate and we could heal from finally releasing what we were holding on to so tightly. So for so many years in the chronic pain and invisible illness world, I was doing this very work that I do here and that Elizabeth talks about here, because that's kind of how she got started in it too. And that as we've learned more and more and more, it has evolved and grown and expanded. And so she has a book that she's a part of, this series. There's the next one is getting ready to come out, the Ancestors Within series, about ancestral clearing and releasing, which, yes, can get into woo-woo. It can get into literal ancestral issues. You can go into past life if you want to, but it can also deal with familial. It can deal with just what's been passed down to you through normal generational. You can take it as extreme or not, as you would like. And that is one of the things I really want to hammer home here. I make some people uncomfortable, I know, because I insist on talking about the marriage of science and spirituality here. We can't separate the two. The healing of the energetic body is essential for true healing of the physical. And the fact that they were ever divided and separated is why the physical has continued to suffer and not be healed. And when I say physical, I mean the physical, this body, on a physical level, an emotional, mental, and physically spiritual level. And when I say energetic, I'm talking about when we heal our energetic aspect, mentally, physically, emotionally, and the physical energy aspect. When we have done that, then we can truly make not band-aid headway, but real headway, lasting headway with this physical. The two, it takes both. I don't believe in doing just one and not the other. It takes both. So I talk about both. And I don't care what someone's belief system is. That I don't care. But I do care that people understand that we are created of energy, and that energy management is the key to physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And that it takes both for true living in capital letters. And so I'm going to talk about it in those terms as long as I'm breathing. Unapologetically, but from a place of unconditional love, not judgment, there's no belief system attached to it. It's all love. It's all education and sharing, and for you to find what resonates with you, when you hear something, some of it's going to be like, I can't get behind that. Okay, let that go. Don't say, I can't take anything they're saying on there because something doesn't resonate with you. Chew up the meat, spit out the bones. Maybe something Maggie and I talk about is too out there for you. But what Elizabeth talks about is just right for you. Okay, great. Then that's what you're in alignment with. Maybe when Joy is on, what she's going to say is going to be just right for you, or 50% or 75% of it's going to be, or Dom or Rosina, or when we have Ricky's cooking show on, or whoever we have on. I bring them so that you, wherever you're at, with your story, because your story is just as relevant. Every life is just as relevant. So wherever you're at, you can join yourself with whoever's story, where they're at when they come, matches. And whatever they bring that helps you, you can take and use, or you can connect with them. And what they have to bring, they can be fulfilled and grow and do what it is they've come here to do by giving you the opportunity to do that, to connect with them. And maybe they know it because you reach out, or maybe they never know. Maybe they just feel it, or maybe they just know they were on and they see how many people watched and they know they made the effort that day to reach people, that's the goal. So that's why I do what I do. And I love what I do. So I hope you will join us this week for what we have coming. It's going to be an amazing week. This voice is going to hold up for it, I promise you. And these books are just going to keep growing. What I have going on, many of you who talk to me privately know that I teach you to journal from the aspect of being, feeling, experiencing. So I'm working on that journal, which will be available in PDF version for you to just download and use. And so that's what I'm working on. And I'm going to get that out to all of you to use, so you can live in great big capital letters, as long as you breathe.